Hello, 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 hello. This is G. How is everybody doing? Regardless of what your birthday is, regardless of what zodiac sign you are, we are all every sign. We're all the 12 signs of the zodiac. So your chart is you. You know when they say, look in the mirror? Well, that's how I see an astrology chart. It's a mirror. It's a mirror of who you are. It shows you who you are on paper. You follow? So new moon intentions is every month there's a new moon. And it's in a particular astrology sign. It's in one of the signs of the zodiacs. So beginning with Leo, we always hear children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, right? We hear laughter, having a good time, and play when we think Leo energy, right? So when we want to set an intention, if there's a new moon in Leo, we don't have to be a Leo birthday. We just find out where the Leo energy is in our life, and we look for the house that the Leo energy is in, and we understand the meanings of that house. And if you don't know, comment below. I tell you what the meanings of the house are, right? And then we can add the Leo keywords. Okay, so for Leo, love and romance right off the top. Creativity, crazy creative energy is Leo, right? Sun is the ruler, right? What grows if the sun doesn't shine? Not much. Like if the sun is completely blocked out, we're in trouble. We need the sun to live. We need the sun. We literally ourselves need that vitamin D from the sun. The plants need it, the animals need it. We need the sun, right? So creative. Nothing gets created without the sun's energy. That's just the fact of life. Generosity. Generosity. Generous energy. If you know Leos, you'll see sometimes that you can be the recipient of some wonderful gifts from them, right? I just realized my water's not in here. Hold on a second. I need a sip. Hold on. All right. So we're picking back up again, and we've got generosity. I was talking about being a recipient. I know for my housemates, their daughter, who's a grown woman now, she's got her own place, and so of course, like birthdays and holidays and whenever, the weekends, when it's time for laundry, or she just come over to visit with mom and dad, right? But during the holidays, she loves to give. She loves buying gifts. She loves wrapping the gifts. She loves gift giving. Generous Leo energy. She loves to give. Okay. Celebration and play and fun. They like to have a good time. They want to go to parties. Matter of fact, I was just on the phone with her yesterday, and my roommate's house, my roommate's housemate's daughter, and she was saying something about coming over, and she said, "Well, I'm not going to make it next Sunday because that's the Super Bowl." And I'm thinking, oh, obviously she's younger. Back in the day, any event to have a party, you have a party, right? And so it was the Super Bowl. So she wasn't going to be over for the Super Bowl because obviously she's got friends and they've got plans and they will be partying. Dignity. Dignity. This is a really interesting word here for Leo energy. Dignity and yeah, some of the words, some folks may feel it and see the way that Leo energy expresses in their life. But then remember, all the energies can go to extremes. And I know with my mom, with what she's going through, being a senior, having Alzheimer's, living independently, that's the goal. The goal, one of the big things that's the two words, her independence and her dignity. Those are the two main words that you try to stretch and stretch out for as long as you can for your aging parent, for their dignity and their independence. And it's really difficult to do when they get to that stage of where, okay, their mind's not really functioning right. Right. There's many times where there's a lot of confusion, and so that, like, the word dignity and independence, those are the two words that you're like, why are we doing this? Why has this choice been made where she still lives alone? Most people probably think, "Oh my God, you're crazy. Your mom's not in her right mind, and yet she lives alone. She clearly should be within a facility and an institution." And the thing is, you lose your independence and you lose your dignity when you go into that, right? And so you try to preserve however much you can of one's dignity and their independence at that stage. And so the word dignity really hits home here with Leo. My mom's got her Pluto in Leo. And so these folks, this is really a high priority that I I I'm dignified, which means um I'm not going to feel ashamed. It's like the opposite of the word shame. So sometimes it borders on pride. Sometimes it can border on pride. But it's like there's self-respect involved, and I expect others to show me respect. And so, yeah, I'm reading this and I don't see the word pride anywhere under Leo. So it's interesting. We'll see if there's some other words listed in the back, because normally you see the word pride, but typically this list that this author gives are normally the positive aspects. And not that pride has to be a bad thing. But normally when we talk about pride, we think, "Oh, Lord, pride, that person's really prideful." We think of it in like in a negative connotation. Anyway, dignity, determination, very determined individuals. They've got a plan, or because it's very fixed energy, right? And so Taurus is stubborn. Leo's determined. I'm bound and determined. Like this is going to happen this way, come hell or high water. No matter what, this is the way it's going to be. Very determined. And so then should be a tempering of the arrogance, because there's that, the pridefulness. She's not saying it, but the pridefulness, we can end up being a bit arrogant and not realize it. And so we're trying to temper our arrogance. Remember, these are wishes, these are intentions, these are things we're trying to improve upon in our life. Okay. So romance, children, dating, we already went through that. Intense love encounters, giving and seeking approval. Giving approval, that's an interesting one. My mom, oh yeah, Pluto and low degrees, approval. I approve of this or I don't approve of that. And if she doesn't approve of it, you're in trouble. And that was such a hard thing, finding doctors that she approved of. Oh my God. I learned real quick she didn't approve of any female doctor. I was like, you had 8 daughters and you don't approve of a female doctor. That's changed now. It's a lot different now. This was before she even understood that she needed a hearing aid or hearing aids. This was before she knew she was legally deaf in one ear. The anger, oh my God. And she wouldn't budge. So that's all has evolved and changed. Thank God. Um, Enthusiasm, creative projects, artistic expression, total subjective involvement, right? Being very self involved, self actualization and passions, loyalty, generosity, bringing joy, encouragement, and kindness. Loyalty, that's a big one. We can think of a previous president in the United States who demanded loyalty, right? Like if you don't give that person that loyalty, you're their enemy, basically. We're no longer friends, damn it, right? That type of thing. And now I'm not saying that those were words out of that person's mouth. Generosity, bringing joy, encouragement, and kindness. So these are all like vices and virtues of the way this energy can be. And so if there are things in this Leo energy that you lack, then these would be the intentions that you would try to bring forward, right? So an example is I want to express myself in ways that result in others knowing that I love them. I want to easily find myself honoring the individual personalities of the people around me. I want to easily find myself actively following the path that is dictated by my own sense of inner joy and happiness. I want the tendency to sabotage the successful fulfillment of my heart's desire easily lifted from me. I want to easily find myself expressing my creativity for its own sake without an eye to the results. I should repeat that one. Most people are very focused on the results of their creation. They have a very like desire, and this determination is really connected to the results. And I know I had to learn that myself, and I'm sure I'm still learning it, but I want to easily find myself expressing my creativity for its own sake without an eye to the results. So in other words, whatever follows after I've created something, basically be grateful for it and don't have this predetermined idea of what those results should reap you, I think is what they're saying here. Interesting. I want to easily find myself choosing projects that cause my creativity to flow freely and that bring me joy. That's a good one. I like that one. I want to easily find myself choosing projects that cause my creativity to flow freely and that bring me joy. I like that one. I like that one a lot because as a creator, we get so focused on each thing we create because it's literally a piece of ourselves. It's our child, children, Leo. It's our child. We give birth to it, right? In a metaphorical way, but really in a physical, material way. If you're like making something, you're creating something, whether it's music, whether it's, painting, whether it's knitting, whatever the hell that thing is, whatever you've made, it is a piece of you. And many times when we create it, we want others to feel the joy or at least like something, some sort of a passion to evoke some sort of an emotion about it, possibly, even if it's not joy, right? That they find value in it. And they would be like, "Ooh, I want that. I want that." We want them to be excited about what we created, And if we don't get that response, if it doesn't get the attention and with that feeling that we had while creating it or that we think it might evoke from others, we feel like either we failed or, it's like we're so tied into the results that we kind of got lost along the path, which is the joy that you felt in the process of creating. That's the ticket there, I think. Because then whether anybody else finds joy in it or not, or finds value in it or not, it doesn't matter. It was the joy you got out of it while you made it, while you created it. So yeah, Leo, pleasures in celebrating. So that's fun and games, parties, vacations, recreational sports, taking risks for excitement. Yeah, having a good time. Having a good time. Recognition. Leo wants the spotlight for sure. Recognition, being center stage, self confidence. Yep. Power, individual expression, powerful individual expression, radiance and benevolence. Radiance and benevolence. Leadership. I think Leo energy really truly has the qualities to be the leader, but there's almost the expectation because it's got that kingly energy. I'm the king of the jungle. So if what I say goes type of thing. Like to the extreme, it could be that way. That's on an extreme, not so positive, more like a vice, right? So concentrated focus, that's interesting. Concentrated focus. I've never seen that associated to Leo. Well, determination, that makes sense. Determination, concentrated focus, a follow through. They have the ability to follow through. That's good to know. I always thought only Taurus. So Leo has the follow through. Again, this is just a book. It doesn't mean it's like, you know, fact. You kind of have to troubleshoot this in your own life and to let me know, give me feedback, what you think. Strength of purpose. Ooh, I like that one. Strength of purpose. Resoluteness, the resolve. Kind of goes along with the determination, right? And stamina. Interesting. Stamina. I've always associated that with Taurus energy. The endurance, stamina. Is that the same thing? Stamina. Arrogance. Leo rules arrogance. Pride. Oh, here's the word pride. Being overly dramatic. Oh, Lord. They can be all about the theater and the drama. They can be. These are vices, of course. Self-centeredness, being quite extravagant to the degree of even gaudy, extravagant, and very bossy. Whew, they think they're the boss for sure. The person in charge. The sun, literally the sun up in the sky, the authority figure. I'm the boss of you. Bossiness. And then restoring health, Leo. This is some of the stuff I've never heard. Back and spine, exhaustion, possibly heat exhaustion, the heart, and then inflammations of the body. It says just inflammation in general. I've never seen that for Leo energy, but look at this. Lo and behold, here it is. So use the Leo energy to create when there's a new moon in Leo, use some of these keywords to create some intentions, whether they're words that you just whisper, things you write down, thoughts that you focus on whenever there's that new moon. And connect these keywords to the area of your life, like what chart, what number, what house number is it in for you? Okay. If you don't know, comment to me below, and I'll give you some keywords as to what that house number means for you and how you can tie in the keywords that I've just gone through in this video. Make sense? If you don't have your chart, comment to me below and I'll get your chart to you. Okay, it's that simple. I'll help you out however I can. So, Leo energy, some samples of how we would focus on intentions, and the wording usually begins with I want. And in Leo energy, that's a big deal because Leo's very, very expressive in that way. I want this. That's a real Leo thing, right? It's very focused on self. It can be overly focused on self. That was kind of some of the vices that we went through. So sometimes those keywords, like how do we get out of me being so self-focused? Some of those keywords in writing an intention of how to be a little bit more balanced. How do we be a little bit more balanced? I want self-defeating extravagance totally lifted from me. Number one, or one of them. Another one is I want any feeling of arrogance easily lifted from me. Or I want the habit of feeling either superior or inferior lifted from me, because there's extremes with all energies. So if I say the word happy, if this is a sign that can be happy, that can feel full of joy, the extreme opposite of happy would be what? This person can experience moments of depression, which is why sometimes we'll see people, we'll know people, or people in the spotlight. Think Robin Williams, comedians, Leo energy comedians. They want to make people laugh. It makes them feel good, but they can swing. The extremes can swing. They can be really happy and joyful, and then things can go bad. There's another one. What's his name? He's the dog man. Caesar, right? Oh, I used to know his name. I used to watch his stuff a long time ago. The dog whisperer, right? Um, I watched a short video one time from him, and he was saying it wasn't about dogs. It was just about him. And he was talking about when he went through a rough time in his marriage and he was going through a divorce. And he said he really wanted to end it. He really wanted it to end. I don't know if he was talking to Larry King. I can't remember. But it was a short clip. And he was just, saying, I was just done. And there was no happiness. He couldn't find any joy. And he really was suicidal. He wanted to end his life. And he said it. And that's the extreme. When you see people who are really, really happy all the time, and if you watch his stuff, he's really positive, very focused, very determined. And he's definitely always talking about being the leader of the pack, the leader of I'm the king of the jungle type of thing. I'm the boss. And you have to project that to the animals, right? And so a lot of strong Leo energy there, a lot of strong Leo energy, but it can swing when things don't go right or whatever, however it was. And I don't mean like, wah, wah, I didn't get my way. I'm just saying when we go through the journey, when we got our feet to the coals, sometimes we feel like we just can't go on. And so it can go to the exact opposite. So I want all self-isolating pride totally lifted from me. I want the habit of using unpleasant drama to get my way easily lifted from me. I want the habit of using unpleasant drama to get my way easily lifted from me. I want all non-constructive self-centeredness totally lifted from me. I want the habit of bossing people around totally lifted from me. So those are just some examples, right? Those are just some examples. Next one is Virgo.